This week, we've got fresh announcements from MSC with Helix subwoofers and enclosures. Stinger with a whole suite of products throughout all their product lines, fresh from CEMA. UNIDEN rolling out a new program for dealers. CERWIN VEGA with a very unique underseat subwoofer enclosure option. And EPSILON upgrading their very popular source unit for Harley Davidson's, now wireless. This is CMA Live All Access, brought to you by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5 Axis Innovations. And it starts now. Well, just a few short weeks ago, Helix was in the news announcing a brand new series of subwoofers. Well, it looks like they're at it again because they're adding to the collection. Yes, Helix subwoofers in the Impact series, along with some companion enclosures. We go now to our product specialist, the DSP cowboy himself, Chris Van Rye. Chris, welcome again to the show. What is the big news? And wow, do I hear more offerings in subwoofers from Helix?
Ben, happy to be back. And yes, you are not misunderstanding the circumstances here. The team in Germany has been absolutely flying at it. Last year was composed a completely new speaker platform with all kinds of new technology to make life easier in the Bay. But a high frequency speaker, mid-range, mid-bass, all that kind of stuff, that's not enough. That subwoofer's got to be there. And we have got subwoofers in spades, all kinds of new stuff coming, some fresh stuff that's about to drop around the corner and some stuff that's available right now.
Well, I could see right away from your setup, Chris, that you have an entire smorgasbord of subwoofers behind you. So we're going to break it down real easy for those tuning in. Let's start, of course, with the exciting Helix IQ.
Ben IQ. We were on a couple of weeks ago talking about this guy. This is a completely new woofer from Audio Tech Fisher. The Q series has always been known to be the big bad boy of the bunch, but this one had to bring something truly special to the table. This actually gave us something that we've never had before, a whole new way to actually adjust and modify the driver in real time. This actually gives us these little weights inside here that are adjustable. There's 3 of these guys that can be added or taken away to change the teal small parameters of the driver, allowing you to now go through and actually manipulate the woofer based on the enclosure space that you've got. We've always been typically limited in cars based on what's available from a standpoint of space, what the customer is willing to give up in terms of room in the car. Well, now we've actually got a driver that we can manipulate to those limitations, making sure that that woofer can always give the best possible performance in any application we throw in front of it.
Might I add, Chris, very innovative and unique technology with those new Helix IQ subwoofers. Very, very cool. But of course, let's not forget the solid IK series that's been legendary within the line, that so many dealers use it as a go-to when it comes to getting deeper frequencies into their builds.
Absolutely, Ben. The Impact K series has been around and been with us for a couple of years now. It has proven to be an absolute staple to a lot of audio system builds out there, giving something that is high energy, high efficiency, not requiring a ton of power to get going. These guys are available in a wide range of different sizes, everything from 12-inch, 10-inch, 8-inch, all the way down to the little 6-inch guy. This is one that a lot of people forget about. Again, space limitations in new cars always pose challenges for subwoofers. So these guys here, available in single or dual 2-ohm throughout the entire Impact K series, give a lot of different versatility and a different way to build systems. These guys are really well thought out from an installation and a consumer standpoint as well. Even the little things, the grill and a terminal cup that allows you to go right to the speaker terminals here, allow for a really easy enclosure design and all the things you need to really take advantage of this and use this in the real world. Cars with golf bags and hockey bags and groceries and all the other stuff that we use our cars for every day. So that Impact K series really fits a lot of different voids and takes care of a lot of different subwoofer solutions in there. The really cool thing about these guys, though, is not only do they give you everything you need as a raw woofer to go through and build something unique and custom for the vehicle, they actually make these guys available with pre-designed enclosures right from the factory, either the 8-inch or the 10-inch in a down-firing system design, terminal cup and grill included, of course, with those. But now that gives you a quick and efficient way to get great sounding bass in the car without having to compromise or invest a lot of time and cost into custom enclosures.
Now, Chris, you mentioned 2 key words here. That's a great segue for our next product here. You mentioned solution and versatility. Well, in today's world, space is, of course, not very available in many situations. And of course, a shallow option is going to come to the rescue. Well, not to worry, because Helix also has you covered with their IKS Shallow Edition.
Absolutely, Ben. Versatility is the name of the game, and the IKS series of subwoofers has been an absolutely incredible piece to add to the puzzle. These guys are available in 8, 10-inch, and 12-inch. The 10-inch, most popular of the bunch, actually sits in at a mere 3 1/3 inches in total depth. Gives you an incredible amount of versatility when it comes to those low-profile mounting problems that we've got in most modern vehicles. But a couple other little things that have been added to this driver design really let you take advantage. One, the back of the magnet. This isn't a rear vented pole piece on this subwoofer, which means you can actually go through and push this right against the back wall of an enclosure. A lot of shallow mount woofers that are rear vented require additional space there, taking away some of the benefits of it being shallow. So we don't have that problem, but we've even gone one step further. Is if you look on the back of this, you can actually see there's a small tapped hole there. You can now go through and take this woofer and brace it through the back of the enclosure right into the back of the magnet. And now you can use the frame of this woofer as a stressed member and a brace inside your enclosure. Again, letting you go through and keep shallower material. This is all about not just being a shallow woofer, but being an entire solution to the depth problems that we face in modern cars. And these guys here in the 8, 10, or 12-inch give you a ton of versatility, especially when you combine the fact that they're all available as either single or dual 2-ohm voice coils. Again, grill, terminal cup included, but again, even above and beyond that is there's enclosures preloaded, designed and built right at the factory to allow you quick and efficient solutions to get these in today's modern cars and trucks and get great bass response without having to go crazy from a build and fabrication standpoint.
All right, Chris, so we've covered a variety of different drivers, some enclosure solutions from the factory, but I can't get my eyes off that item behind you on your left shoulder. These look like spare tire enclosures. Are these the ones for Match, or is this something completely new?
Totally new animal here, Ben. We've actually had the match enclosure available for quite a few years as an OEM Volkswagen option available through their parts and accessory centers. But we wanted to make sure that we also gave that same type of capabilities to our modern customers. Using some of the new technology that we've developed in that IKS series woofer that we were just looking at, we were able to come up with two brand new designs, one with a single 8-inch woofer, one with a dual 8-inch woofer, to give great output, tons of low frequency extension in installations that aren't going to compromise a bunch of space inside the vehicle. Even the little things have been thought through on these guys. Terminal cups, grills, but even from a mounting standpoint. Right here in the middle, we've got the spot that allows us to secure this enclosure right to the spare tire mounting brackets. So the bolt that comes up the floor with the wing nut on top, this actually will go through right through this enclosure here and give you that same versatility and mounting solution inside the vehicle. So we've got something that really creates a custom type experience without having to invest the time and the cost of fiberglass enclosures and still get the low frequency extension that we're looking for.
Great use of the new shallow subwoofers. I think this is going to be a big hit, especially the fact that there are more and more customers that don't want to give up their trunk. Why not use a space which is right there? Really excited about these new additions. Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't include the Match series when we're talking about subwoofer offering from Audio Tech Fisher. We just finished talking about these new spare tire ones. What does Match have to offer as far as subwoofer solutions?
Well, Match gives us this entire lineup all to itself, above and beyond everything under the Helix umbrella. We've still got a full range of subwoofers coming from the Match side of things. A little bit different design concept available with these guys, but the same great end results. Available in 6-inch, 8-inch, or 10-inch, these little woofers here give incredible versatility, great sound quality and performance. Some of the cool things about these guys, these actually use quad 3-ohm voice coils. The point to that allows you to be plug and play compatible with a lot of the Match amplifiers. Things like the PP86, the M5.4, or even our PP62 give you the ability to run 4 channels of an amplifier straight into these enclosures or straight into these woofers and get great power output. The cool thing about these guys here is we've even got our plug and play connector on the back side of things here. So that allows you to go straight from, say, a PP86 with one single harness available from us that allows you to plug straight into the amplifier, all 4 channels, and straight into the woofer enclosure. Gives you the versatility to have something that's removable for your customer, as well as they can plunk back in there without issue, never having to be concerned with things like phase connections or loose connectors on the wiring side of things. So all of these woofers are designed with the Match amplifiers in mind, but aren't limited to Match. Of course, these are universal drivers that can be partnered with any other amplifier in the Audio Tech Fisher or Blam lineups. Now you've got a huge smattering and a huge lineup of options available depending on what you've got for physical space in the car, what kind of power or amplification you're working with, and what kind of end result you need from a bass and performance standpoint. So really, when it comes to the lineup here, Audio Tech Fisher checks every single box for every single application, everything from simple, removable, serviceable, all the way up to custom, crazy, rattle your windows and your fillings loose right out of your noggin. So If you have any questions regarding any of these different subwoofer systems or how they can integrate into your upgrade or your customer's upgrade, make sure you reach out to us at www.msc-america.com or audiotech-fisher.com for all the details.
Are you looking for an audio display for your car audio shop? Look no further than 5-Axis. We specialize in audio displays, motorcycle displays, power sports displays, UTV displays. All our displays are custom designed to tailor with your needs. We go anywhere from custom graphics to custom LED panels to fabric posters right above. Visit us on 5AxisInnovations.com or check us out on Facebook or Instagram at 5-Axis Innovations. Or give us a call at 414-326-7162. Look forward to hearing from you.
Now, our next guest has reported an amazing showing at SEMA a few weeks ago with people in the booth from morning to night. Up next is, of course, Matthew Palumbo representing Stinger Solutions. Now, Matt, this was a big SEMA for you guys with so many new products. How did it go?
Yeah, Ben, SEMA this year was amazing for Stinger. I mean, we had people in the booth, like you said, from open till close every day. And Stinger has a big staff of people in the booth. I mean, there was like 15 employees in there throughout the day. And every one of us was taking dealers and accounts throughout the booth, showing them all the awesome new products we had to show off. And it was just alive with excitement. It was a great, great show.
Well, I think there's a reason why it was so busy, Matt. First of all, Stinger representing so many popular lines. And today on CMA Live, we're going to break down some of the brand new product that was released at SEMA. Let's start first with, I know, one of your favorites, of course, audio control. Recently, you came on CMA Live and talked about both the new Altitude series of amps as well as the new Epic series of amps. But you had another trick up your sleeve for SEMA, didn't you?
Yeah, Ben. So like you mentioned, we definitely had a strong showing there with audio control. We did show off the Epic series amplifiers as well as the Altitude series amplifiers. Lots of buzz about those. But the last thing was a product that we haven't really shown at all, and we've been really good about keeping tight-lipped about it, and that is the new Epicenter Micro Pro. So this really takes everything that's great about the Epicenter Micro and just takes it up one more notch. So what we realized is with the Micro, if you're feeding it a high-level factory sound signal coming into your inputs, and it's a weak signal, low wattage, let's say, the Epicenter Micro currently will put out a pretty decent signal over the RCAs, but it's not as good as maybe it could be. And that's where the Micro Pro steps in. We added a full-blown line driver to the Micro to make it the Micro Pro, as well as an independent input level control with a maximized indicator and an output level control with a maximized indicator. And for one final awesome feature, kind of the hat trick that makes it great, that is the PFM selection. So in the past on the Micro, you could turn the PFM or subsonic filter on or off. But now with the Micro Pro, you have off, 15 hertz, 24 hertz. So you've got your choice of where you want that subsonic selected. It just takes what was already good and makes it absolutely great.
Well, Matt, I'm quite impressed with this new and improved version of the Epicenter. Love the new line driver, buddy. That is definitely an upgrade. All right, moving quickly to another new release. Now, we did talk about the brand new source unit in the IX210 from Horizon, but leave it to Stinger to up the ante a little bit more by releasing a 12-inch version in the IX212. How was this received, Matt?
Yeah, Ben, you're right. The Horizon 10 has been a big hit for us so far from the Stinger lineup. I mean, it really took everything that was great about the High 10 and again, just elevated it to the next level, made it even better. It's so much faster and smoother, has all the coolest, latest features. And that's really what we've done with the IX212 as well, is we've taken everything great about the Horizon 10 and put it into a 12.8-inch widescreen format. So it looks fantastic in a lot of these modern vehicle dashboards. The best part, I think, about the Horizon series of head units in general is that when we make a integrated kit for it, it really blends into the dash seamlessly and looks more like an OEM option rather than just looking like a tablet slapped on the dash like a lot of them do. So with the IX212, we showed it in a Jeep Wrangler. And in that Jeep, those Jeeps can come with a wide range of factory stereo systems, but none of them offer the presence of a IX212 in that dash. It definitely looks fantastic. It adds a widgets area to the screen so that you can have constant control over subwoofer level or RGB lighting, your external accessories, whatever it is you want to have over there on the right side of the screen. And it just, it's one of those radios that as people came by the booth, they'd kind of poke their head in the Jeep, and we would get the question a lot, is that a factory radio? Which made us proud. I mean, that's exactly what we want to hear. So it was a really impressive showing for that unit, and a lot of great reactions from the public coming through.
All right, we move now from Stinger source units to some integration pieces coming to you from PAC. Now, two really exciting ones. One in particular, I think, is going to be a godsend when it comes to having a solution for, you guessed it, the 18 and up Chevy conundrum. What can you tell us about these two new interfaces, Matthew?
Yeah, Ben, you nailed it. I mean, in those late model GM vehicles, they can be a real pain to integrate with, especially if they have the amplified Bose sound system. Any of those GM vehicles with the AVB Ethernet amplified system, that's the network that they operate on. If you don't have an interface like our new AP4 GM71, which is coming soon, they are, practically impossible to get great sound out of other than replacing the source unit. So the AP4 GM71 is the model number. This is an Amp Pro interface. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically going to T-harness into the vehicle at the factory amplifier location and essentially replaces the factory amplifier with RCA outputs as well as a Toslink optical out. So if you're doing a DSP, you've got that super clean digital output to feed into it. And now you've got RCA outputs, optical out, and a bass knob if you need it, all that comes with that kit. And the best part about this is you don't have to worry about all the traditional issues of integration. So you're not worrying about chime volume, having to do signal summing, what is the factory EQ curve, which channels are crossed over. All of that becomes a moot point because what you're getting out of an Amp Pro module is 20 hertz to 20K full range signal. It is a 5-volt RCA output, and it's basically just like having an aftermarket deck. So we released that AP4 GM71 there at the show, or I should say we previewed it there at the show. We also showed the AP4 TY14. Now this is going to be for your 21 and up Toyota Lexus vehicles that have the JBL amplified sound system, and same idea. It's an Amp Pro interface, so it's going to be a T-harness, a module, and then those RCA outputs as well as the digital optical or Toslink output. And same thing, it's going to undo all that factory processing and basically get you a flat, clean signal that works beautifully with the factory stereo system and gives you all the outputs you need to upgrade that audio system with aftermarket amps, speakers, subwoofers, and it just makes it so much easier, takes out all the guesswork.
Well, no wonder the Stinger Solutions booth was buzzing at SEMA with all these amazing new releases, but we saved another one. And earlier on in the season, there was an announcement that Stinger had acquired the lighting brand known as Raysport, and it went quiet for a little bit. Well, no longer, because Raysport was definitely in the house at SEMA. And Matt, there's a whole new trajectory with Raysport at Stinger, isn't there?
Yeah, Ben, with Raysport Lighting, I mean, we're super excited to have them part of the Stinger family of brands, and it really makes a lot of sense. We have our Stinger Enlighten RGB LED lighting already, and that stuff's great, but it's a fairly slim line. It's only a few SKUs, which is what it was made to be, and Raysport has such a broad, big offering of products. So what we've been busy doing with Raysport is kind of trimming down the line, getting it more consolidating, just really going for those core SKUs that make the most sense. And then as we've been doing that, we're also looking at the most popular SKUs from Raysport and working on updating them. So what you're going to see in the near future from Raysport is a lot of those popular models are going to become plasma LED, which basically means that the LEDs are brighter and closer together. So you don't see where one LED stops and the next starts. You don't see any spacing between the lights. You basically see in an LED strip, for example, that it is a continuous string of light, and it looks fantastic. Also, with that being said, no matter which SKU we're looking at, if there's any sort of control involved, we're working on updating all of those Raysport popular SKUs to be controllable from the Enlighten app, which of course works with the High 10, the High 10 Plus, the Horizon 10, and the new Horizon 12. So with all of that said, here in the very near future, you're going to see that Raysport lights integrate beautifully with Stinger head units, and the lights are brighter, cleaner, and better looking than ever with the best control they've ever had. So there's a lot of really big things coming for Raysport here towards the end of this year and into the beginning of 2025.
So if you're just tuning in, of course, we're interviewing Matthew Palumbo from Stinger Solutions, who had an amazing showing at SEMA. Tons of great products, too much to cover, in fact, in this segment. But Matt, if people are interested, where should they find out more? And what is the expected delivery date on some of these new products released?
Yeah, Ben, if anyone wants to learn more about any of the cool new products that we talked about today, stingersolutions.com is the place to go. That's where we host all of the different brands in the Stinger family. And as far as expected delivery dates, most of what we talked about is due either at the end of 2024 or Q1 of 2025. So lots to look forward to.
Hi, Paul Truman here with SiriusXM. We reached out to some of our partners in the industry, and here's what they had to say.
I can't say more or enough about just what it means to have our unit working with SiriusXM. It's like we're there now.
The SiriusXM service is something consumers want, right? So it's Paul.
That allows a consumer to listen to either podcasts, entertainment, sports, all at their fingertips. It's all about engagement, and that's what SiriusXM provides.
SiriusXM is a huge component in a vehicle nowadays. Consumers expect that technology to be available both in our OEM system as well as the aftermarket upgrades that they're applying to their vehicle.
Alpine and SiriusXM, through our electronics, are able to offer the consumer on the aftermarket side SiriusXM 360L, which is an expanded platform for SiriusXM. And it's really been a beneficial relationship for us with SiriusXM.
As a dealer, just remember, we don't compete with anybody else. We are absolutely one of the best profitability accessories you can add to any head unit that is SiriusXM ready.
Well, fresh from SEMA, the brand known as UNIDEN certainly had a big showing, not only unveiling a brand new series of products, but also introducing a new program for 12-volt retailers. We go now to their product specialist, Ray Wolf, who's joining us. Now, Ray, obviously, leading up to SEMA, there was some signs on the wall. This was going to be a big show for UNIDEN. Can you share with us how the rollout happened?
What an amazing show. We definitely felt the love from the industry. I'm super excited to talk about our new product and our new 12-volt retailer program.
All right, Ray, well, let's get into it. I guess this will be two parts. Let's first talk about the hardware, the new product line that was unveiled at SEMA. It's called the W series of product. And from what I understand, there's a couple different models here to talk about. So let's get started with the R4W. What can you tell us?
Absolutely. So we started with our new series, which is our W series. W is indicating Wi-Fi connectivity. You're going to also utilize our new RTAC app for full functionality programming and connecting your detector into a home network so you can have over-the-air updates. Now we're going to start with the R4W. The R4W is a single DSP blackfin chip processing radar detector. Next, then we'll move into our R8, which is a dual DSP blackfin chip processing radar detector with directional awareness. Now you'll understand what direction the potential threat is coming from. Then we'll go into the custom install world where we introduce the R9W, which will be a full solution out of the box for both radar detection and laser protection with 6 total laser transponders. And we're going to also introduce our new R9W front only system, which is an a la carte style system.
All right, so if you're just tuning in, brand new gear coming to you from UNIDEN, a new R4W, R8W, R9W, which are all stand for wireless, as Ray has explained. But I want to circle back to that front only package. And you mentioned a key word here, a la carte. Just to get some clarity here, Ray, how does this work and what is the compatibility? Does it go cross-platform to maybe work with the other models or just with the R9W?
The a la carte version was very important for me to really add to this lineup. This gives us a lot more opportunities with the portfolio. We're going to be able to have the laser transponder starter pack be compatible with both the R4W and R8W. This will really give you the opportunity to give a full solution at just about any price point client that will come in through your door.
Not only do I think that is very cool, but it's also very smart, especially when you're a retailer trying to position different packages at different price points, like you said, Ray, to the different type of clientele coming to your store. All right, at the top, you mentioned there were two things. First was the gear, which we just covered, but also a brand new retailer program that's dedicated to the 12-volt retailer. So I'd like to get some more details on that.
Absolutely. So the R4W and R8W will be sold on uniden.com and some of your traditional big box channels. What we've done is we have packaged the R4W and R8W with a hardwire kit that will only be sold into the 12-volt industry. This will allow you to have some additional incentives or better positioning when trying to sell against the internet. Now, on top of that, we are protecting our R9W and our R9W front only directly into the retail space, 12-volt retailer space, that is. Now, in regards to the standalone laser transponder add-ons, this will also be reserved for the 12-volt retailer space. It's very important to understand this key component because as we may capture some sales of the R9 or excuse me the R8W and the R4W online or through Best Buy or any of these other big box traditional outlets, if that client is interested in laser transponder capability, they have to come back into the network of retailers.
You know, if you're tuning in, then obviously you are, of course, a 12-volt retailer. And the news that Ray is sharing with us with the UNIDEN program that he's decided to, really cater to the 12-volt dealer market, I think is quite impressive. I especially like the hardwire kit because that definitely gives an advantage to the 12-volt retailer. And of course, naturally, anything in more of the custom install side of things, such as the R9W kits and the front only, will certainly add an advantage and a higher level of service to that higher end customer. But the hardwiring kit, that is a clutch move.
Not only is that a clutch move, we're going to level up one more step. I'm including it at no additional cost to the retailer. That way you have the advantage and you keep your margins whole.
So if you're just tuning in, we have Ray Wolf here from Uniden, had a great SEMA showing, some brand new product in the W series, the R4W, R8W, R9W, as well as an R9W front-only kit, which is also compatible with the R4 and R8W. On top of that, a brand new 12-volt dealer program that we just outlined. And yes, you heard it here first, a free or at no cost hardwire kit, which will be included and only to 12-volt dealers. Ray, this is fantastic news. Talk to us about availability of the products discussed today and where should folks go to get more info.
So the R4W, R8W, and R9W are already available. Check out your local distributor. The R9W front only and the laser transponder add-on kit will be available come January. Come check us out for more details on uniden.com.
CE Outlook is dedicated to keeping the car audio and electronics industry informed on the latest issues, trends, and product releases. New feature stories posted daily. Visit ceoutlook.com for the latest industry news. Now, it's no secret that space is becoming a commodity, so getting base into vehicles is becoming ever so challenging. Well, lucky for us, we have brands like CERWIN VEGA, who recently at SEMA announced a brand new type of underseat enclosure, this time with a twist. We go now to Kevin Siegel, their product specialist, who's going to share with us a little bit about how it went at SEMA and this brand new subwoofer enclosure solution that they've come up with. Hi, Kevin. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ben. Yeah, SEMA was awesome this year. We had record attendance, and our booth was just jam-packed throughout the day for both brands of Diamond Audio and CERWIN VEGA. A lot of excitement with some new products we have coming out, and two in particular really caught a lot of people's attention.
And it's exactly these two products why we have you on CMA Live, because I must admit, this is kind of innovative. So what we're talking about, folks, is an underseat enclosure. You know, the thin style enclosure that's powered. It's easy to place, get some bass into vehicles when you don't have the space. But CERWIN VEGA's done something really unique. And I'm surprised nobody's thought about this, but that is they've gone ahead and added auxiliary amplification power right into the unit. What does this mean? Well, I think this means that you can actually power other speakers from this one unit without having to add amplifiers. Maybe Kevin could shed some light on the matter.
So these two new products we have are really exciting. There's something that our engineers has spoke to installers and retained feedback from them of what is needed in the marketplace. What makes these so unique is they're underpowered seats. However, they have internal amplification in them. You know, you can drive a full system from one of these units and have bass, full bass control, and have separate gain controls for your front and rear. We have two models that are coming out, the VPass 841 and the VPass 821. Obviously, one's a 4-channel and one's a 2-channel. Each of these units are designed to be sleek and have a lot of power. We are rated at 50 by 4 on the 4-channel with 250 by 1 on the sub. And the 2-channel version is rated at 50 by 2 and 250 by 1.
Now, guys, as you can see from these images, these are very compact solutions. I am really impressed that CERWIN VEGA has thought about adding an alternate amplifier to be able to system build with just one unit. So the last thing is, Kev, I didn't get the chance to ask you, what size driver are we talking about for these enclosures?
So yeah, Ben, both these speakers come with an 8-inch woofer. They're extremely shallow, and man, do they impress on the sound quality.
Now, if you were at SEMA, then you know that CERWIN VEGA had a whole bunch of new product, but today we're going to zone in on not only these two new compact underseat subwoofer enclosures, but there's also a revamp of a legendary and iconic line of speakers called the VEGA series. We had a chance to show some of that earlier on during our programming this year, but what was the feedback on the new VEGA speakers?
So Ben, yes, the new VEGA series is a complete redesign for 2024 going into 2025. We're really excited about it. The VEGA series has been iconic for our brand, and it was time for a redesign. And the engineers, man, they knocked it out of the park. You'll be really surprised how amazing these things look, sound, and the performance.
Again, the engineering team at CERWIN VEGA knocking it out of the park with the aesthetics on these things. Only thing left for me to do is hear them, which I'm sure I'll have the opportunity soon enough. All right, so again, if you're just tuning in, CERWIN VEGA unveiling a new underseat compact enclosure featuring an 8-inch driver and on-board additional 2-channel or 4-channel amplification in configuration. Also redesigned is the new and classic VEGA speakers, whole new lineup, all new looks, new aesthetics, but really retaining that iconic performance and sound. Last but not least, Kevin, summarize it for us. When can dealers expect to have these new products from CERWIN VEGA available to them?
The new line will be shipping by the end of Q1. We're really excited about having them and available to our dealers. If you want to check them out, go to CERWINVEGA.com.
There's an incredibly strong network of distributors across Canada, and today we're here at CMA Expo to speak with them and get a sense of how they feel about their partnership with SiriusXM.
SiriusXM helps connect our industry because we are reproducing music. We are delivering content in a different way. We deliver hard parts to consumer. They deliver us the content on those hard parts.
It's a great add-on for the head unit sale, and it's pretty much just a natural addition now to offer it to the customer after they purchase a new head unit for their car.
As a distributor of SiriusXM, we all benefit. As partners, they offer and bring to the table the love of music. We're all in this industry because ultimately we love music.
They've been a great partner, and they've actually created a lot of excitement again in the industry.
It really brings the whole industry together, and it's music-based. It's great. You know, that's what we do. We sell music. They provide content. It's fabulous.
Well, for those of you who are into motorcycle audio, we got some great news for you today. The folks at motorcycleaudio.com, more specifically Soundstream, have had some updates to be announced as far as their radios are concerned. We've got their product expert, Brandon Meyer, joining us today. Now, Brandon, the new WHD 14 Plus is replacing an older unit, and it's really got some key features that riders are going to be excited about. What can you tell us?
That's right, Ben. Our new WHD 14 Plus is a new replacement for the previous generation HDHU 14 Plus. The difference is this one has wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, plus has a super bright LCD for good daytime driving.
You know, Brandon, I knew this was coming. It was just a question of time. It seems like wireless CarPlay and Android Auto is the deal these days. So it's great to see the Soundstream has stepped up, updated one of their most favorite units out there with this key new feature and a brighter screen at that. Well, while I have you, let's not waste any time. Let's remind listeners why exactly the WHD 14 Plus is as popular as it is.
That's right, Ben. WHD 14 is packed full of features that riders want on their long journeys. Wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It's got USB charging so you can keep your phone charged. It's got high output amplifier ICs for powering multiple speakers around your car. Even 5-volt RCA outs for those that are going from mild to wild and putting in custom amp systems in their motorcycles.
All right, so there you have it. Soundstream coming up with a brand new revised WHD 14 Plus model, now featuring wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as a brighter screen. Okay, that's not all, because we've got more updates. This was very, very recent, and this is for those of you where ThunderMax comes into play. Some of the units, even though you're connected through the Maestro interface, simply isn't showing the ThunderMax data or gauges onto your screen. Well, guess what? It looks like that's been fixed, and we'll go to Brandon to tell us more.
That's right, Ben. That's great news, right? So any of the riders that are using ThunderMax tuners to do all their ECM adjustments and perfect their ride, they can now get all that data hooked up onto their HDHU 14 SI, or even guys that have our newest V2 head unit can now update their ThunderMax tuner and get all that data available.
Now, Brandon, this sounds like very exciting news, but for those of us who might not be aware of what ThunderMax is, would you mind just helping us explain what the great benefit of this is?
So ThunderMax, Ben, is a replacement ECM for Harley-Davidson Touring Series motorcycles. That allows the rider to tune his engine to get any kind of performance enhancements that he wants on his motorcycle. Really an awesome, cool product.
So there you go, guys. If you're using the ThunderMax option when it comes to tuning and fine-tuning, now all that information can be displayed through both the HDHU 14SI model as well as the V2 model with the latest software update. Now, before I let you go, Brandon, obviously we're heading into that time of year. We're going to shut her down for the holidays, and then we're going to start fresh in January. Can you give us any sneak peek of what to expect that might be coming down the pipe at the folks over at caraudio.com?
Oh, come on, Ben. You hit me with a question like that. I'm like Santa Claus. I got a whole sack full of tricks that we'll have out later in the year, or actually early in 2025. Anybody that's interested should always follow our websites, motorcycleaudio.com, precisionpower.com, or soundstream.com, and as well as all of our social media, Facebook and Instagram. There's always something coming.
And that's a wrap on this edition of CMA Live, presented by SiriusXM and sponsored by 5-Axis Innovations. Make sure to check out all our videos at cmanetworks.com. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We'll see you next Saturday.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you